The 400 meters, just one lap around the track, but in that single lap lies one of the most grueling, strategic, and unforgiving events in the world of sport. It's long enough to exhaust your lungs, short enough to require sprinting almost the entire way. There's no room for error. No time to recover from a slow start, no margin for doubt. It's a brutal test of speed, stamina, and soul. At the Olympic level, the 400 meters becomes something even more, a battleground for greatness. The men who make it to this final are not just fast, they're elite. They've endured years of training, setbacks, sacrifice. Their bodies are machines, fine-tuned to deliver under pressure. Their minds trained to ignore the searing burn in their legs, the pounding in their chests, the noise in their heads. They know the pain is coming, and they run straight into it anyway. The men's 400-meter final in Paris 2024 was no exception. In fact, it may go down as one of the most competitive in Olympic history. Lining up at the blocks were giants of the sport: Karani James of Grenada, a former Olympic champion; Matthew Hudson-Smith of Great Britain, the reigning world silver medalist and European record holder; and a rising force from the United States, Quincy Hall. Each runner brought a resume worthy of gold. Each had already tasted pressure on the world stage, but only one can take home the gold. For Team USA, the anticipation was immense. Not since LaShawn Merritt's win in 2008 had an American man stood atop the Olympic podium in this event. The nation had watched years of close calls, silver medals, and missed moments, but Quincy Hall, a soft-spoken sprinter from Kansas City, Missouri, was ready to change that. As the gun fired and the runners exploded from the blocks, Hall settled into his stride. The outside lanes took off fast as expected. In a 400-meter race, the staggered start often makes it hard to tell who's truly ahead until the final curve. But by the time the runners came off that bend, less than 200 meters from the finish, Quincy Hall was sitting in fourth. He was behind the legends, behind the favorites, behind the expected. But Hall was not done. What happened next was nothing short of extraordinary. With the crowd rising to its feet and the cameras tracking every stride, Hall launched one of the most spectacular finishing kicks the Olympic Games has ever seen. At 30 meters to go, he was still trailing, but visibly closing the gap. His face contorted with effort, every muscle strained, every ounce of energy pouring out of him. You could see it, the determination, the agony, the belief, and then, in the final 10 meters, everything changed. Hall surged, not just past one, but two of the race's giants, Karani James and Matthew Hudson-Smith. It happened in seconds, a blur. He leaned, he crossed, he won by less than half a second. The stadium erupted, commentators scrambled to find words. Cameras zoomed in on this moment. His face twisted in both exhaustion and triumph, his chest rising and falling, his arms lifted slowly as realization set in. Quincy Hall was now an Olympic champion. Hall's journey to this moment wasn't paved with gold. It was filled with challenges, injuries, doubts, financial stress, and the pressure of expectation. Like many athletes, he had moments where quitting felt easier, but Hall kept going, not just for himself, but for his daughter, for his family, for every young athlete who dreams of rising from humble beginnings to Olympic greatness. In his post-race interview, Hall said it best: drive, digging, determination that defines all the stuff he's been through, and left it all on the track. That day, when asked how he knew he had taken first place in those last few steps, he didn't hesitate. He said, "I know I got there. I focused on myself, focusing on my daughter." It's that focus and something greater than personal glory that may explain how Hall found a gear no one else could match. When others were tightening up in the home stretch, Hall was breaking through, while others heard the roar of the crowd. Hall was hearing the quiet voice inside, the one that reminded him why he started. In Kansas City, watch parties erupted. His family, friends, and neighbors, those who had cheered for him through thick and thin, celebrated their hometown hero. They had believed in him when no one else was watching, and now the world was watching too. The 400 meters demands everything from a runner. It punishes hesitation. It exposes weakness. It elevates the brave. On that unforgettable night in Paris, Quincy Hall didn't just win a race, he won history. He became the first American man in 16 years to take Olympic gold in the 400 meters. But more than that, he gave us all something we rarely get in sports: a pure, perfect reminder of what heart looks like under pressure. His name is now etched in Olympic lore, but more importantly, his story will live on in every runner who starts slow, in every athlete who's counted out, in every person who's ever dared to dream beyond their limits. This is more than a victory. This is legacy. This is Quincy Hall, Olympic gold medalist, Olympic champion. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more.